All right, now that we're all here, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take us over to the warm-up area while still walking in place.
It's a very full day.
Is we're gonna split the group in half.
From guided exercise to group sessions.
It's been difficult talking with other groups that are not diagnosed.
To just hanging out. But what you're looking at is a living laboratory, one that will teach researchers much more about dementing disorders in their earliest stages.
I get so full and so excited to say I'm part of a trailblazing team that's going to be the benchmark for something that's going to happen all over the world. Were you here today? And I said, you guys need to make a big old picture of us and put it on the wall out there, you know. Put our names beside, because we are the first group.
We know there are probably close to 50 million people in the United States today who have Alzheimer's disease pathology but are asymptomatic. This is a chronic disease where it takes decades for the pathology to develop to the point where it overcomes an individual's resilience. We're starting this program as a research phase for people with mild cognitive impairment, memory loss.
Patients are usually diagnosed and don't see their doctor again for a full year. This changes that and allows researchers to follow people week to week to see the progression, to learn what interventions are truly effective. The Cognitive Empowerment Program at Emory Brain Health is for those impacted and their care partners. For 1 year, twice a week, the group meets. Sensors and cameras will measure the gait and movements of participants, able to track changes for the better or worse throughout the year.
So it is an observational research study, meaning that as we carry out our program, we're observing how people perform, both by doing baseline assessments. So we do some basic paper and pencil cognitive tests and some questionnaires based on their sense of well-being and their empowerment and their stress and depression. And then we will monitor that over time.
We're going to explore what does that look like for you guys?
It's not a one-way relationship between researchers and participants.
Our real goal here is to help empower people to live the best lives that they can for as long as they can. People with mild cognitive impairment and their care partners.
Research is showing that certain interventions can slow progression of the disease.
There is preliminary research that shows that structured activities like this help slow down progression, but we want to bolster that field of knowledge. We use cognitive brain training exercises on a computer program.
You ready to start?
That they can practice here, but also they can practice at home.
Where was the one that was different? There you go.
And then later we'll use some of our other developed cognitive programs that we've used in cognitive neurology for a long time that use calendars to train people to use a little handheld calendar that they keep with them all the time, to teach them strategies for reminders and compensatory strategies.
Make sure you're breathing. We're still getting that blood flowing through the muscles.
They're encouraged to exercise and embrace a Mediterranean diet.
Welcome again to the Innovation Accelerator space.
They're also partners with researchers from institutions like Georgia Tech and Emory.
Some weeks it'll be students coming in and asking questions and talking with you. Some weeks it will be researchers coming in and having you do things like asking you to play games and answer questions and do focus groups.
This group is filled with experts who can tell researchers what it feels like to live with a disease that slowly takes away from you, and what it feels like to be the person caring for them.
For me personally, I just want to make sure that I can be the very best caregiver I can give, because he is so awesome. And I don't want to get impatient, and I don't want to get discouraged, and I want to make sure that there are resources that can help me be the best I can be.
Together, these couples learn strategies to help them confront a diagnosis and a life that doesn't look the way they thought it would. All the while, researchers are accruing data, learning what strategies work.
How to talk to others about MCI.
As we gather that information, and we're also gathering data on their physical activity and their participation in the program, researchers will be able to use that information to better inform whether or not these lifestyle interventions are making a difference, whether or not it's slowing down the progression of their disease, whether or not they're feeling more empowered and engaged and their sense of well-being is improving, or even hoping to see if it improves their mood.
This first-of-its-kind program will hopefully be replicated across the country. The need is critical.
We were involved in other clinical research studies, and to know that there's research with this and that maybe we're helping to contribute a little bit towards that. I don't think it might not help us that much, but maybe future people that are facing the diagnosis.
I'm not here to cure my Alzheimer's. I mean, that would be nice if they stumble onto that while they're here, but the clock's ticking on them because I'm 78, 5, 8, whatever.
The program continues virtually during the pandemic. Participants have called it a lifeline in this unusual year.